Elliot Grayson adjusted the lapels of his sharp gray suit, the hum of lively conversation and clinking glasses fading into the background. The ballroom of San Francisco's most prestigious gala was alive with opulence, but to him it felt hollow. As one of the city's leading architects, Elliot was a man admired for his precision and vision, yet he often felt adrift in the very world he had helped shape. The night's event, meant to celebrate the unveiling of his latest skyscraper design, felt like just another obligation, a performance to uphold his image. He scanned the crowd with little interest, his mind wandering to the ache he carried within. It wasn't the fame or success that kept him moving forward. It was something, or rather someone, he'd lost long ago. Charlotte, the woman he had loved deeply during his college years, had been taken from him in a tragic accident that shattered his dreams of a shared future. Tonight, something stirred within him as he slipped out of the venue into the cool evening air. Walking through the quiet streets, Elliot could never have imagined that this would be the night his past would come rushing back in the most unexpected way. The cool San Francisco breeze carried the scent of damp pavement as Elliot wandered aimlessly through the quiet streets. The distant hum of traffic and the glow of streetlights wrapped the city in an ethereal stillness, a stark contrast to the clamor of the gala he had just left behind. His thoughts were interrupted as he crossed a small plaza and noticed a flower cart stationed under the glow of a nearby lamp. Behind the cart stood a woman arranging a bouquet of daisies and lilacs. Elliot's steps faltered. Her profile, illuminated by the soft light, hit him like a thunderclap, a vivid echo of a life he thought he had lost forever. Maya, the name etched on the wooden sign above the stall, seemed utterly ordinary, but her face was anything but. It was as if the years had rewound in an instant. Her soft brown hair and delicate features mirrored someone Elliot thought he would never see again, Charlotte. Unable to stop himself, he approached. "Excuse me," he said, his voice breaking slightly. The woman turned toward him, and for a fleeting moment their eyes met. The resemblance was undeniable. Elliot's breath caught, but before he could say more, her expression shifted. There was no recognition, only guarded uncertainty. She took a small step back, clutching the bouquet as if to shield herself. "I'm sorry," he said quickly, softening his tone. You look like someone I used to know." Maya's gaze lingered on him, her eyes narrowing slightly. "I think you're mistaken," she replied, her voice calm but wary. "I'm sorry, sir." As she turned her attention back to the flowers, Elliot stood frozen, his heart pounding. It couldn't be her. Could it? He took one last glance at her before walking away, questions swirling in his mind. Elliot spent the rest of the night unable to shake the image of Maya from his mind. The resemblance to Charlotte wasn't just striking, it was haunting. By morning, the questions had overwhelmed him. He needed answers. Sitting at his sleek desk overlooking the San Francisco skyline, Elliot dialed his assistant Ryan, whose resourcefulness had proven invaluable in both business and personal matters. "Ryan," Elliot began, his tone measured but urgent, "I need you to find out everything you can about a woman named Maya. She runs a flower cart in Hayes Plaza. Start with city permits and work from there." Ryan hesitated. "Is this business?" "It's personal," Elliot replied, already anticipating the follow-up questions. "Just be discreet." By late afternoon, Ryan called back with preliminary information. "Her name is Maya Rivers," he reported. "She's been running that flower cart for about 4 years. No criminal record, no significant online presence. Lives alone in a small apartment a few blocks from the plaza. Nothing unusual, really." Elliot sat back, processing the details. On paper, she seemed ordinary. A far cry from the vivacious and ambitious Charlotte he had once known. Yet, something about her felt familiar in a way that defied logic. As memories of Charlotte flooded back, Elliot found himself transported to the days of their youth. He remembered her laughter echoing through the architecture studio, her encouragement during late nights as they sketched out dreams of building a future together. Her sudden death in a car accident had shattered him, leaving an unfillable void that no amount of success, no skyscraper, could ever replace. But Maya wasn't Charlotte. Or was she? There were subtle differences. The guarded way Maya carried herself, the faint lines around her eyes. Signs of someone who had faced struggles Charlotte never had. Over the next few days, Elliot found himself returning to the plaza, watching from a distance as Maya worked. The more he observed, the more convinced he became that fate had brought her back into his life. But why had she denied knowing him? If she truly was Charlotte, what had happened to her in the years since that fateful accident? Elliot knew one thing for certain. He couldn't let this mystery go unanswered. Elliot's visits to Maya's flower cart became a daily ritual. Each morning, he would arrive with a cup of coffee in hand, always finding an excuse to linger near her stall. At first, Maya kept her distance, her politeness tinged with caution. But Elliot's persistence was disarming, and slowly, the walls she had carefully built around herself began to crack. "You must really like flowers," Maya said one morning, her tone light but probing as she handed him a bouquet of sunflowers. Elliot chuckled, meeting her gaze. "I do, but I think it's more the company that keeps me coming back." Maya's cheeks flushed slightly, and she looked away, busying herself with rearranging a display of tulips. "You're not like my usual customers," she admitted softly. Over the following weeks, their conversations grew longer, transitioning from polite exchanges about flowers to meaningful discussions about life, poetry, and the hidden beauty in the mundane. Elliot learned that Maya loved poetry and had a knack for arranging blooms that told silent stories. She, in turn, began to ask questions about him, his work as an architect, his favorite places in the city, and what drew him to her cart every morning. "There's something about you," she said one day, hesitating as if she wasn't sure she should continue. "It's like I've met you before." Elliot's heart skipped a beat, but he kept his tone steady. "Maybe it's just familiarity. You remind me of someone I used to know, a very important person." Maya's brows furrowed, a flicker of curiosity in her eyes. "Who?" Elliot paused, weighing whether to reveal the truth. "Her name was Charlotte," he said carefully. "She was someone I cared about deeply. She passed away a long time ago." Maya nodded slowly, her expression unreadable. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. As their connection deepened, Elliot noticed subtle changes in Maya. She began to trust him, her reserved demeanor softening into something warmer. Yet, he could sense the tension within her, the faint but undeniable feeling that she was holding back a part of herself. Each day, Elliot grew more certain that Maya was connected to Charlotte in a way neither of them fully understood. But how could he help her see it without overwhelming her? The first time Maya mentioned her dreams, it was almost in passing. "I've been having strange dreams lately," she said one morning, her voice uncertain as she handed Elliot a bouquet of hydrangeas. "Flashes of places, faces, but they don't make sense." Elliot's breath caught. "What kind of faces?" he asked, trying to keep his tone casual. Maya hesitated, her fingers brushing the edge of a rose petal. "A man's face. Sometimes he's smiling, other times, I don't know. It feels familiar, but I can't place it." Elliot wanted to press her for details, but knew he had to tread carefully. He couldn't risk scaring her off, not when she was so close to uncovering the truth. A week later, the dam broke. They were sitting on a bench near the flower cart, the quiet hum of the city fading into the background. Maya turned to him, her eyes searching his. "Elliot," she began hesitantly, "I feel like I know you. I don't understand it, but it's like there's something connecting us." Elliot took a deep breath. He couldn't hold back any longer. "Maya, there's a reason for that," he said softly. "You remind me so much of someone I lost, someone I loved, Charlotte. And I think you might be her." Maya stared at him, her face pale. What are you saying? He explained everything. The accident, her resemblance to Charlotte, and the dreams she had described. Maya listened in stunned silence, her expression shifting from disbelief to confusion and finally to fear. "This is impossible," she said, her voice rising as she backed away. "If what you're saying is true, then who am I? Everything I've known, everything I've built, it's all a lie." Elliot reached for her hand, his voice steady. "You're Maya, but you might also be Charlotte. We'll figure this out together, I promise." Maya pulled her hand away, standing abruptly. "I need time," she said, her voice trembling. "I don't know if I can handle this right now." As she walked away, Elliot felt the weight of her uncertainty pressing down on him. He had given her the truth, but it was up to her to decide what to do with it. Elliot watched Maya walk away, her confusion and fear cutting him to the core. He realized he couldn't leave her to face the storm of uncertainty alone. Determined to find answers, he decided to dig deeper into the shadows of Charlotte's tragic past and its uncanny link to Maya's present life. The key, he believed, lay in unraveling the events surrounding the accident that had taken Charlotte away. He called Ryan, his ever-reliable assistant, with a new task. "Ryan, I need you to dig into records. An accident that killed Charlotte Carter. Look for anything unusual, especially connections to my father, Victor Grayson." There was a pause on the line. "Victor, are you suggesting he was involved?" "Yes, check," Elliot said, his voice tight. "I have a feeling there's more to this than I've been told." A few days later, Ryan returned with news. "I found something," he began, cautiously. Inside were old police reports and hospital records. Ryan began to explain. The accident didn't kill Charlotte outright. She was found unconscious and severely injured by a passerby who called for help. But here's the strange part. Someone intervened before the authorities arrived. The witness reported seeing a black sedan leaving the scene. That car was registered to Grayson Holdings. Elliot's jaw tightened. And then what? Charlotte was taken to a private facility under a fabricated identity, Emily Carson, a name meant to erase her existence completely. The records show she had amnesia from the head trauma, but instead of reuniting her with her life, she was discharged under mysterious circumstances. "I suspect your father orchestrated this, erasing her identity to keep her away from you." Elliot's chest tightened as he imagined Charlotte, lost and alone, robbed of her memories and thrust into a life that wasn't hers. "How did she become Maya?" Ryan hesitated before continuing. "It seems she was placed in a small-town community under a fabricated identity. Over time, she must have built a new life, not remembering anything of her past. It's likely Victor kept tabs on her to ensure she never resurfaced." Elliot's rage simmered as the pieces clicked into place. His father had not only taken Charlotte away, but also destroyed her sense of self, leaving her to fend for herself under a false name. Elliot confronted Victor, his voice trembling with anger. "You didn't just take her from me. You stole her entire life." Victor's icy reply cut deep. It was necessary. She would have ruined everything. Returning to Maya, Elliot explained everything. Her eyes widened as the truth sank in, her voice trembling. "So, I've been living someone else's life all this time." Elliot took her hands in his voice steady. "No, Maya. You've always been you. And now, we'll rebuild everything they took from you. Together." For days, Maya wrestled with the revelations about her past. The life she thought was hers had been built on a lie, orchestrated by someone she had never known. Yet, through the chaos of rediscovery, one constant remained. Elliot. "You don't have to face this alone," he told her one evening as they stood by her flower cart, the city lights glowing softly around them. His hand rested lightly on her shoulder, steady and reassuring. "I don't even know who I am anymore," Maya admitted, her voice wavering. "You're Maya," Elliot replied firmly, "and you're Charlotte. Both lives, both identities. They're yours. You don't have to choose. Together, we'll rebuild something new." With Elliot's unwavering support, Maya began to embrace both parts of herself, Charlotte, the vibrant woman of her past, and Maya, the resilient survivor she had become. She decided to embrace her life as Maya, while exploring the fragments of Charlotte that lingered in her heart. Elliot, ever patient, stood by her side through every small step forward. Together they came up with an idea, a flower shop that symbolized second chances. They named it the Bloom Room, a tribute to the resilience of love and the possibility of renewal. As the shop took shape, so did their relationship, blending the past and present into something beautiful and entirely their own. As the grand opening of the Bloom Room approached, the little shop became a beacon of warmth and hope in the heart of the city. Its shelves overflowed with vibrant blooms, each arrangement carefully crafted by Maya's hands. Customers came not just for flowers, but for the quiet inspiration the shop exuded, a testament to the power of starting anew. Elliot stood beside Maya at the entrance, their fingers intertwined. The journey to this moment hadn't been easy, but the love they shared had weathered every storm. Maya glanced up at him, her eyes sparkling with gratitude and quiet joy. "I never thought I'd find myself again," she said softly. Elliot leaned down, his voice tender. "You didn't just find yourself. You found us, and we're stronger than ever." In the weeks that followed, life at the Bloom Room flourished. Elliot and Maya worked together, their bond deepening with every passing day. In time, they welcomed Maya's lost memories not as shadows of the past, but as pieces of a mosaic that had shaped who she was. Their days were filled with laughter, love, and the promise of a future unburdened by tragedy. Together, they created a life that was vibrant, authentic, and entirely their own, a happily ever after in full bloom. If you enjoyed this story of love, resilience, and second chances, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll be the first to experience more heartfelt stories that inspire and move you. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What part of Elliot and Maya's journey resonated with you the most? Thank you for being part of our journey. Let's continue sharing stories that inspire hope and remind us all of the beauty in second chances. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to subscribe and join our growing family.